you doing, Lev? So today's the big day. We've been having all the mystery of what is lunar, and you've got the kind of, you're dressed like kind of space guys and gals here. So what is lunar? Now I can actually ask you a question. So what is lunar?
So Luna really is the best way to integrate Apollo into a bigger picture recording, editing, mixing, production, music creation environment. So it's native software paired with your Apollo, and inside the software it's quite a lot of things that we could talk about. You know, if you're interested in how Apollo works today and you're using console and you're tracking and overdubbing, Luna has one app that you just do everything inside of. So you can edit, you can track, mix, master, do everything you need to do inside of this one piece of software. But some of the extra things that are really interesting are what we call the Luna instruments, for example. Now the Luna instruments are running inside of Luna exclusively. They're native, and we're doing exactly what you would expect we would do with our signal processing, but now for virtual instruments. So complete end-to-end modeling. We've got amazing filters, oscillators, all of the modulation, all of the original quirks of the Mini Moog, even down to the audio amplifiers. They break up and distort and add warmth in the exact same way that a real Mini Moog would. And so a lot of that stuff is here, and you know, again, it's all inside of this Luna environment. So in addition to, you know, the instrument itself, it's going to come with tons of presets, easy enough to sort of show up over here. We're seeing our browsers on the left-hand side here, which is how we kind of show all of the list data, the plugin assignments, presets, etc. This is a great way to just go through, browse presets, find what you like, start with something on the basis of a preset, and then tweak it out to how you like.
So I'm kind of, it's looking to me like it's almost DAW in that sense, but it's tied specifically to the UAD platform.
Yeah,
right?
I would say that it's got all of the major themes that people would equate with the DAW. Some of the places where it's different is really how it integrates with Apollo specifically. It really turns Apollo into your full-fledged recording system. So it's a hardware, software, instruments, hybrid system. It really does have something for everybody. But you know, one of the things that's maybe where it kind of goes in a different direction from your typical DAW is Luna is for Apollo.
Right, so you've got some native kind of, so this is like the mixer page of a DAW effectively.
Essentially, yes, but at the same time, if I go to this audio track here, I'll go to the bass track and I'll drop into record, you're going to see all sorts of things start to happen with something we call accelerated real-time monitoring. This orange outline here is sort of showing us that these plugins have been rebuilt on the interface in low latency. And so what this gives us is the ability to drop into record, hear these plugins, either we can print them to disk if they're in the input section, or we can hear them non-destructively in the insert selection.
Almost integrating, it's like the integration of console, but within the
right.
wrapper of
That's
Luna,
right. And so, you know, we're looking at the mixer window here. This is only half of the story. Of course, like a typical DAW, we have a full-fledged editing timeline. So we're seeing everything from, here's a MIDI track, for example, completely integrated into the timeline here, along with audio. Everything can be edited together. You know, you can of course easily go in and add new notes. You can easily select things, move things around. You know, it's a full-fledged workstation and music creation environment. So absolutely, it's got all of the hallmarks of a DAW, but again, we think it's bigger than that. We think it's a full-fledged recording system that gives you everything you need to make music, to edit, to mix, master, etc., all inside of this Apollo and Luna ecosystem.
So does it allow you to run third-party plugins?
It really does, yeah. So we have full-on audio unit support. The system runs on a Mac, runs with Apollo exclusively at launch. And yeah, audio unit plugins, audio unit instruments, all inside of the Luna environment.
So they can be integrated sort of in between Apollo DSP channels as well, so within
absolutely.
The same, right, okay. That's very new, isn't it, right?
Yeah, we knew that customers were going to need that if they were really going to be adopting this system, again, as an end-to-end system for making music. And so absolutely, audio unit plugins can be put on buses, tracks, the master faders, anything that you want to be able to do, you can do it in Luna.
So am I right in understanding that this is a free download for people who've got Apollo hardware?
That's right. Another good example of where, you know, it's not a free DAW, it's a free recording system for Apollo customers. So yes, if you own an Apollo today, if you own an Aero today, and you're on the Mac, you're going to be able to download Luna when it ships later this year in the spring. Now, also, if you buy an Apollo or an Aero in the future, same thing. Luna is going to be a part of this entire UA ecosystem with all of this amazing new stuff. And again, it's just going to be growing and growing as we add more and more great features.
So are these some of these inserts here, like the Neve stuff? There's
Yeah.
something. I mean, are these native to Luna, or are they
are
extras, or how?
Yeah, so we call these. So if we have Luna instruments, like we talked about, some of these exclusive instruments inside of Luna, the other sort of mixing and signal processing and editing side of it is something we call Luna extensions. And so these aren't quite plugins. They're not quite like DAW features. They're kind of somewhere in the middle where they fully integrate into the fabric of the Luna mixer. So you're not thinking about which plugin do I put where. There's just a tape machine on this thing. So you can see I've got the Oxide tape machine, these little silver guys, and we've actually also got the Studer A800 tape recorder built in. And what you have is the ability to decide, okay, I want to have the Studer over here, and you can see I've got the reel spinning. But what this is actually doing is it's controlling the tape machine as it is assigned on all of the source tracks.
And that's running on the DSP.
That's right, and that's all running natively inside of Luna. And so you get this great experience where instead of having to deal with a million plugin windows, there's one, and it controls all of the sources. And so you can have one tape machine for your drums, you can have a tape machine for your vocals, guitars, whatever you like, and they can be different flavors with different tape formulas, different tape speeds, all the kind of things that you'd want to do with a real tape machine, you can do with Luna extensions inside of the system here.
So I'm trying to kind of get my head around the concept a little bit. So a lot of the software that you've developed within Luna is not necessarily running on the DSP and the Apollo, it's running on native, right?
Right.
Okay.
And it's a hybrid, right? Like where it makes sense for there to be DSP, there's DSP. And where it makes sense for the instrument side of things, it's native. And I think, for example, we have this new instrument, Shape, which is a huge multi-sample and synthesis engine. It can actually run 4 parts at once. And again, they can be a mixture of samples or synthesis. And we really needed the host to be able to load huge sample libraries, huge libraries that are going to chew into a lot of memory and a lot of storage.
Yeah.
And so that's where we decided native makes sense. Let's go in that direction for these things. Where we kept everything sort of business as usual is the UAD2 plugin library. The UAD2 plugin library is still running off of our DSP,
right.
And that can run inside of Luna, and it can run inside your favorite DAW of choice.
So is there some fancy stuff that you're having to do to synchronize the latency and the kind of to compensate if you're running?
So the system,
right.
The short answer is absolutely. There's so much really complicated but sophisticated delay compensation going on in here, where not only is it sort of the stuff you'd expect for mixing and playing back and making sure that everything is aligned, but there's a lot of delay compensation going on for when we're tracking with the DSP, such that mixes show up at the outputs at the same time, so that when people are tracking together and getting audio in, that it all arrives on the timeline at the same time. So a lot of really sophisticated delay compensation going on.
So something like these virtual instruments, the latency is going to be dependent on your CPU rather than your hardware.
I'm so glad you asked. So we did a lot of special things with regards to the latency and the way that we've tuned it in the system. And the short answer is there is a dual engine, dual latency buffer for virtual instruments. So when you drop into record, it automatically shuffles down to the lowest latency that we could possibly get. And if you've seen some of the demos here on the show floor, you're seeing people playing these instruments with no latency. And it's because we're dynamically managing the actual latency of the native process automatically, so you don't have to really think about it. And the cool thing is that not only do we have this dual engine for getting the lowest latency, but we also have a DSP integration where when you drop that instrument into record, it actually plays out of the Apollo interface as low latency as possible. And why that's also cool is that you can actually put UAD2 plugins after the VI or the Luna instrument and get those plugins in the low latency DSP as well. So there's a lot of really cool things that a lot of people have never experienced before with how latency works with virtual instruments and how it works with our DSP.
So I guess one of the other things, I mean, whenever you're talking in terms of DAW, there's lots of people who have favorite key commands, favorite controller setups. You're entering that world of those sort of requests. I mean, is there a lot of customizability in?
It's something that's definitely coming in the future. Right now, it's one key command set. It borrows from a best of many different DAW softwares just for familiarity, but definitely in the future, I could see us doing more there with customization.
Lev, thank you so much. And this is available now, right? Or is
It's coming in the spring, so we're still a few months away. The announcement is today. We wanted everyone to know what we're up to, and we wanted people to know that it's going to be free when you own this Apollo or Aero product. So again, coming soon to a download near you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.